back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. If you don't know me and this is your first time here, I'm very glad that you're here. My name's Becky. I am the single mom of 5 kids. We live in South Alabama and we just moved into our new single wide mobile home. It's a 2023, it's brand new, and we literally just moved in last week. So if this is your first video, did I already say that? If this is your first video, I'm not your typical YouTuber. I am a mess, hence the name of my channel. I might look like I have it all together for a minute, but if you stick around, you will see that I mess up a lot, and nothing is perfect here. So if that is your cup of tea, make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button and stick around. So in today's video, I want to do something a little different. I want to kind of sit down and talk to you for a little while. I'm also going to be cleaning my bedroom, so that's going to kind of be mixed in, and I want to try this different format, and you guys let me know if you like it. So today I want to talk about 5 things that I'm doing differently now that I'm a single working mom versus when I was a homemaking homeschool mom to my 5 kids. So a year and a half ago, my life looked completely different than it looks now. Now I am not with my ex-husband anymore. I moved out in January, and this is September, so it's been almost 9 months. Oh, no, the 16th was 9 months that I have been without a partner. And I am now working, which I've been working for a year now. We put our homeschooled kids in public school last year, so this is their 2nd year in public school, so that's not really new anymore. Still doesn't feel normal yet, and I still am really sad every day when I drop them off. Every day I miss them. I keep waiting for that to feel normal, but it doesn't. But it's what's best for them, and I can see that now, a year out of it, or a year into it. Anyway, so a year ago was the first time we put our kids in public school, and I began working for the first time outside of the home in 15 years. So before that, my life looked completely different. I homeschooled, I was homemaking, I made a lot of things from scratch, I even dressed differently. So I want to take today to kind of update you and tell you 5 things that I feel like have made the biggest difference and that I'm doing differently now. So the first thing that I do differently as a single working mom versus when I was a homemaking homeschooling mom is that I try to say yes more often to little things. So as a single mom on one income, I don't have a lot of extra money. And moving back here to Alabama versus being in Arkansas, the cost of living is much higher here, and I'm working less. So my budget is even smaller than when I first started out life without a partner. So because of that, I have to say no to a lot of big things. To move here, I even had to cancel our summer vacation, and that was a really big bummer. So to make up for that, I try to say yes to the little things. Some examples of that would be once a week, and I've done this, actually started this before I moved out, but we do dinner and a movie at least once a week, and they're themed, and they're usually Disney. So say we're watching Lilo and Stitch, and so the theme is gonna be obviously Hawaiian, and I'm gonna take that up a notch and make it a luau. So we're gonna do, say, kebabs and pineapples, and we're gonna drink Hawaiian punch, things, you know, that go along with a movie, and then we watch the movie, and that has just become one of my favorite things to do with the boys. And it doesn't cost any extra because I budget it in to our weekly groceries for that week. So that's one thing that is fun and not any extra cost that I can say yes to. Other things I say yes to might be even smaller than that. As a homemaking mom, I felt like I was busy all the time. Like I never just had any downtime. I felt like my house had to be perfect all the time. And it wasn't, I wouldn't allow myself to do anything unless it was perfect. So I hate it. I hate to admit this, but I didn't take enough time to say, yes, I'll play Legos with you. Or, yes, we'll sit and I'll watch this TV show with you, even though I have a sink full of dishes. there's a lot of regrets I have over my boys' childhood, and that's one of them, is that I didn't take time to say yes to the little thing because I had so much else that I was worried about and prioritized, unfortunately. So I try to say yes as often as I can. Yes, I will find $2 to give everybody to be able to dress out of uniform. Yes, I will try to give you snack money at least once a week to buy ice cream at school. Yes, I will play Legos even though I don't know how to play Legos. Yes, we can watch this movie that I don't necessarily enjoy, but y'all love it for the 100th time. Yes, you can have a snack at 9 o'clock at night. Yes, you can sleep in the bed with me. That's one thing that we didn't allow. And I wish I had more of a voice back then. Because they're only little once, They're not going to be 18 wanting to sleep with me, and that would be kind of weird if they did. But if my 11-year-old needs to sleep with me every night that he's here, then I'm going to let him. Or if my 8-year-old wants to sleep on the couch, yes, I'm going to say yes because I can. There's a lot that I can't do as a single mom, and that's one thing I can do. So the second thing that I do differently is I have learned to accept and to ask for help. I touched on this in my last video that is not easy for me to do, that I was made to feel weak, or told that I was a burden on people for asking for help, or that people didn't want to help me. So I have to tell that voice in my head to shut up a lot, and just realize that as a single mom, I need my village. I can't do it on my own, and that is why we moved back here. That is it. Even though the cost of living is higher, even though the public schools are bigger and not as good as our sweet little Mountain View, and I spend a ton of money in gas because we don't live on the town square anymore. It was important for me being without a partner to have my family and my friends and my church family. So I've learned to accept the help that they offer and to take it at face value when someone says, let me know if you need something. Because before, when somebody would say, hey, just let me know if you need anything, I'd be like, okay. And then I would never take them up on that because, like I said, I felt like if I did, I was a burden on them. But now I'm finding out is that people actually mean it. People mean it when they say that. They're not going to say it if they don't mean it. Because I'm forcing myself for my boys. That's the only reason. To take them up on that offer. So I have learned that I have to reach out. Some people do come up to me and be like, hey, do you need this? Hey, do you need this? But sometimes it's me sending the text saying, hey, can you help with this? This always makes me emotional. But it's really hard for me to do, but it's just pride, Once you stop caring about what people think and start taking what they say at face value and not trying to decipher what they mean behind it, most people are good and they want to help. So the third thing that I'm doing differently as a single mom versus a homeschooling, homemaking mom is I am prioritizing my time and commitments on the weeks that I have my boys. I've been very clear with the fact that I do share 50-50 custody with my ex. So he has them a week and then I have them a week. So my time with them is even more precious. Growing up, I had access to them and they had access to me 24/7. We were literally together all the time. And now, I only have them half of the time. And then also they are in public school. So that's another 8 hours out of the day that I'm not with them. So when we moved back, I made sure and found a job that would accommodate me being able to drop off and pick up my boys the weeks that I have them, because it was important for me that I'm the one that does that. I am the person that sees them when they leave for school, and I'm the person waiting there when they get out of school. That was very, very, very important to me to prioritize that. It goes by so fast, y'all. It goes by so fast, and I want I want to make sure I have every second that I can with them. And that also means that I save the things that I want to do just for myself for the week that I don't have them with me. Sorry, it's a cattail. I save the things that I want to do just for me for the week that they're not with me. And that's not a lot. That may mean, watching a movie that only I want to watch. It may mean doing my nails. It may mean going to a swing dance class that I'm planning on going to at the end of the month when I'm not with them. It may mean doing my hair, things that are only for me, I save for the weeks when the boys are not with me. That way, when they are with me, I have those 7 days devoted to them and their activities and things that we can do together. And that was really important to me. And yes, that may mean that I never date. That's not even on my radar right now, honestly. And it's honestly terrifying. The thought of dating in my late 30s on into my 40s. The dating pool is small, y'all. And it's even smaller for a woman with 5 kids who can't have any more. So that's not even on my radar. But if it was, then that also would go to the week that they're not with me. But y'all, I don't even want to. That sounds terrible. But just in case you were wondering. So the fourth thing that I do differently than when I was a homeschooling, homemaking mom is I use budget binders. It's a cash envelope system. It's just way cuter and more convenient because I can also use the smaller one as my wallet. So it was a little bit easier when I was at the end because I got paid weekly. And so I had direct deposit, and I would just pull out what I needed. Or no, I would actually just pull out everything except the bills that were paid on my debit card. I would keep that in there, pay my bills for that week, and then I would pull the rest out and stuff my envelopes, whether it be for gas or for savings or for house stuff or for the boys. And I would put all that in envelopes. When that ran out, it was out. But bills always got paid first. Now I get paid bi-weekly, and I've actually been able to be a month ahead in my bills. So like all of my September bills were paid September 1st. So that way I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, even though my budget is very, very tight. There is not much left over after those bills, but they're covered the beginning of the month. So then both of my paychecks, I've had 2 by the end of September. Both of those will pay my October bills. Does that make sense? Okay, and so I did it a little bit differently. Sorry, I got a cat in my lap. I did that a little bit differently. I actually left my bill money in my bank account like I normally do, but I also left the money that I would have put in a savings envelope. I left that in there. And honestly, it's just because the bank that I have is in the part of town that I don't ever go to. So it's like 20 minutes away from my house. I need to get a closer bank, and then that might change the way I do things. I haven't used my envelopes as much as I want to in the weeks that we've been here, but I'm hoping that will change as things calm down at home a little bit. Things have kind of been a bit crazy, so I've kind of just had that, and I just don't touch that debit card. Yeah, I don't know. But that is one thing I do differently, is that I am on a very, very strict budget, and it has worked out well. Before we got married, I was not good with money. I was young, I was 20, I didn't make very good money decisions. And then when I was married, he handled all of the finances. I didn't even see our bills or our bank account for most of our marriage. So I've had to learn how to budget and pay bills, and honestly, that's thanks to TikTok. It's thanks to TikTok that I am where I am. I'm not clearly where I would love to be because things are tight. You know, we don't go out to eat. Like I said on the first one where I say yes to the little things, and it's because I don't have money to do the extra things. You know, we only go out to eat on birthdays. Luckily, there's 6 of us, so that's at least 6 times a year that we'll go out to eat. I wish that was a joke. But, you know, you do what you got to do, right? And that's what it's all about. Being smart with what you've got and appreciating the little things. And that's really what this list is about. It's a really simple list, but it is things that I took for granted then. And I wish I had done differently then. I could have done these things when I was a stay-at-home mom. I just didn't. And I wish I had. So the last thing on this list that I'm doing differently now as a single mom is I am looking at my kids' behaviors and my behaviors differently. I used to just kind of treat what they were doing as the problem. So if my kids are arguing, the problem was they needed to stop arguing, right? So I would be quiet, you know, blah, 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 go to your room, blah, blah, you know. Get them, do whatever you got to do to get them to stop fighting. Give them a consequence, you know, make them do a chore together, something. Solve the problem in front of you, right? But now I am learning more about behaviors, and they're actually symptoms of a root problem, and that has come from myself being in counseling. So everyone is like this iceberg, right? And say this is the tip of it. Your behaviors. So the kids arguing, maybe I snapped at the kids and I didn't want to. Maybe they huff and puff when I ask them to help with chores. All of that is just the tip of the iceberg. But we don't see all this that's underneath the water. So my new goal as a mom is to see the tip, but try to figure out what's going on beneath the surface. Because I've got 2 brothers and they are just constantly bickering. They're constantly just at each other. There's probably something going on there underneath the surface. You know, maybe they're just have polar opposite personalities and it's difficult for them to get along. So then instead of just treating the little bickering, I'm going to try to teach them ways to get along with people that maybe you don't want to hang around all the time, but you kind of have to because you're brothers. Or I'm going to teach them ways to get to know each other below the surface. Or maybe it's because they're more alike than they are different, you know, and so they're butting heads because they both want to be in charge. Okay, so then I'm going to teach them that you don't have to be in charge all the time. It's okay to let someone else lead. Or maybe they had a bad day at school. Maybe they've had a bad week at school. Maybe something's going on that I am not aware of. But whatever it is, it's causing this tip of the iceberg, the bickering up here. Maybe I snapped at them because somebody cut me off in traffic on the way to pick them up. You know, that's not their problem. That's a me problem. Does that make sense? Once I started looking at things like that, you learn a lot of grace for people. I think it's really easy to assume that we are the main character in everyone's life, and we're not. You're the main character in your own life. So like the boys, like it's easy for me to assume I'm the main character in their life. I'm not. I'm not at all. And so I snap at them because why did they leave their backpack in the middle of the door? Hello? Didn't they see that's a problem? Well, no, because they were excited to come inside and play video games because they didn't have homework. You know, it's not about me. They didn't know that I got cut off in traffic. So why is that their problem? It's not. It's a me problem. So I am trying to see things that way, and it's not always perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. I snapped at one of them this morning and before I dropped him off, and so I'm gonna sit here all day with mom guilt, you know, that was the last thing they saw before I said bye. Yeah. So when I pick them up, that's the first thing I'm gonna do is apologize. But I'm going to spend today, instead of wallowing in mom guilt, I'm going to figure out why in the world did I snap? What caused that in me to snap at them? You know, is it pride? Was I embarrassed? Did I not wake up early enough and I should have gotten myself together a little more? You know, something. There's always something underneath the behavior. The behavior and the choices are just a symptom of what's really going on underneath. So I'm trying, as a mom, much harder to parent from that perspective. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you like this new format, make sure to let me know in the comments. If you didn't like it, also please let me know. The feedback is very helpful to know whether or not you like what I'm doing. So if you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Either way, I'm so glad you're here and I'm very thankful for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!